Hey guys, Yo here. Welcome back to another video. It's been a few days, hasn't it? I have been lazy, I admit that, but I also was busy the other day helping a friend build a computer. It was really fun to do, and hopefully things go well. I actually even got to buy his old graphics card, so I actually get my computer back to the two-way SLI I had before. So I'm gonna have to get my final build that I wanted a few years back. Anyways, we just got some spicy stories today about WarnerMedia. For some reason, the subsidiaries seem to be in a bit of a panic or a mess. I'm not sure. I just don't feel like they're being run well. I don't know. That's just my opinion on that. And before we get started, of course, if you want to support the channel, you can subscribe to the channel, leave a like for this video, and share it as well. That'd be really appreciated. And anyways, let's get started with the first story here with Crunchyroll. So you can see the title here. From their official blog themselves, Crunchyroll introduces new membership tiers, offers even more access to anime. Now, I'm not sure if that more is right, because if we'll scroll down, we'll see what they'll mean by more, or what they think means by more. So there's still the free plan that you can watch, and then wait for a week for the newest episode, or last week's new episode. And then we have their $8 plan, so this is American. They have a post they linked over here. There we are, talking about international subscribers, and so the ad free, of course, is nice. And then you can read their manga and get the simulcast the same day, watching when it releases there. Then it jumps up to $10 a month, to $2 more. You get offline viewing and 4 concurrent streams. So my guess then is you're able to watch stuff offline by downloading it. Using their dedicated app or otherwise. I'm not sure how that works on their site. And then 4 concurrent streams, I'm assuming means that like with one account, you can sign into 4 different devices and then watch from there. Excuse me, it'll itch there. And then a special benefit looks like every quarter, so every 3 months, you get $15 off a purchase that is $100 or more, which is, I guess, that's a nice trade-off there. It's pretty good. So half of your subscription in that month, it goes towards a purchase. So that's not bad either. And then we go to the ultimate fan tier. It jumps up to a straight $15. That's a huge jump. $5. That's more than nearly double, actually, the original pricing. And then you get the same stuff as before. And then in addition, you get access to 6 different streams at once on 6 different devices, I assume. And then we'll have the annual ultimate fan swag bag, and member only access to exclusive merchandise. I'm wondering what that could be. And then the benefit from the last tier is then the actually $25 every 3 months. So if we do that kind of math, that's $45. Just over half of your money goes back to that, which is nice too. So my thoughts on that, I feel like they could be trying to be desperate to make more money so they're not being sold off to Sony, which I learned recently it's a bad thing if they do that, because then they'll have actually a majority stake in anime. That's not a good thing in my opinion, because they own Funimation as well. I did not realize that. So that's kind of scary to see. I mean, I noted that I wouldn't like the idea of Crunchyroll being owned by Sony, but being reminded that Funimation is owned by Sony, I do not like that. But you're finally able to download anime, which is nice, and watch it offline. But it is definitely a higher price. From what I recall, it's higher priced than other options like Funimation and High Dive. So, I don't know. That's not a good thing. The other options are actually kind of better if you just want an offline viewing, right? And I don't know how many people actually share their Crunchyroll accounts. But I guess it's a good trade-off if you're spending like extra like $2 on that to trade that off. That's nice. So I don't know if the discount is that great though. It's like more than half your money back. This one's half your money for the tier 2. Tier 3, you get just over half, like $5 more than half what you pay into it. But one thing I do question is like the member swag bag and the access to exclusive merch. I don't like that idea of gatekeeping merchandise. Unless maybe just at a cheaper price, and maybe that makes sense, especially with that discount there. The swag bag I question heavily for sure, because I was subscribed to Loot Anime for I think 6 months, one year, and things like some of the boxes were good, and then some things in the boxes are like meh, like wow, okay, but like it does hit above like the price of the box for sure. But I've learned about some people who get repeat items, like I already got this when I got this years ago. So that's kind of a trade-off with that kind of thing. I'm no longer doing that because I have other experience with them that I didn't like. They did go bankrupt and got bought by another company. But yeah, I think that it's an interesting strategy to have increased stuff, but I don't know if these extra perks are really worth it for anyone. I don't use Crunchyroll, so I can't say anything about that. I would love to hear anyone who subscribed to Crunchyroll. Like, what are your thoughts on this right now? Like, are you gonna pay for it? Because I don't know, it just feels kind of odd to have certain things that are locked off to higher tiers when other services have it already. So, anyways, we're moving on to another WarnerMedia subsidiary, talking about Rooster Teeth. So we're gonna start in the middle of the article here. The title from Bounding the Comics is where is that? I said Ruby production company Rooster Teeth contradicts previous statements about inclusion, tells customers to get lost, quote, if you're not with us. So the reason why I'm starting in the middle is because we can see, yeah, right around here, the blue highlights. I'm a smart man, look at that. So back in June and May, they said a lot of things saying, hey, we support Black Lives Matter and work on more diversity, equity, inclusion. They have that like a DEI person specifically for that. So they extensively talk about these things in their support for BLM and even like these organizations that I would assume support BLM or social justice. I personally think there's like a certain limit to how like social justice-y you can be, because they're hitting that for me. Because when they say they have a department of like diversity, equity and inclusion, it feels like just thinly veiled bigotry in a way, because oh, we're just gonna hire people specifically for their skin color or their race or their like religion or whatever other identifying thing, including their sexuality. Like, so you're not hiring based on the best person for the job, but on a quality, like one quality that they can't change about themselves. Like that just sounds like, again, it sounds kind of like thinly veiled bigotry of some sort. And I don't use that word lightly, honestly. I try to avoid that, but like honestly, in this kind of case, it's like if you're like overtly trying to hire people to be diverse or be inclusive, I think that's a bit of an issue. I understand there's a bias, but like if you're living in America or Canada, I live in Canada, there is definitely, I would say, I agree with someone else who said this, a majority bias, because a majority of the population in Canada and the US is Caucasian. That's a fact for sure. And if you go over to like overseas, let's say Japan, right? You're going to be working in a company. There's going to be a majority of Japanese people, and that's an extreme example because they're a very homogenous society, right? So that's kind of my thoughts of that. That's pretty racist and, well, just not racist, just bigoted, veiled bigotry, I feel like. I understand that they're trying to be like, hey, we're being inclusive and being good, but like, I just feel like if you need to overtly say that kind of thing personally, it's something wrong. Like, I will admit, for sure, I can definitely be somewhat inclusive with people, but I'm generally like an okay person. I feel like I'm not gonna go around saying I'm not racist. Like, clearly all have our biases, right? So let's moving on to the other part of it is that, so they were talking about inclusion and everything like that, and then they recently then apparently contradicted themselves with their social justice things. So now this tweet here says, "This is your regular reminder that we happily and proudly stand for social justice. We have no tolerance for racism, sexism, or harassment of any kind. If you're not with us, this isn't an airport. No need to announce your departure." So, kind of given like, hey, if you're not with us, like, you can just go right off. That's dismissive and exclusionary. That contradicts the whole inclusion statement, really. Like they said early in August, and it's just, oh, they said that twice. Whoops. But yeah, and this kind of continues on with their whole like thing about they're purging and changing their YouTube channel to be more acceptable. But it's like you can acknowledge what you've done in the past and just do better now. I don't understand people going back, oh, I need to delete the stuff or edit stuff from what I said years ago. It's like, yeah, it was acceptable then and you've changed, so like you can just accept that. But then again, there's all the pressure from people, the kinds of people like who cancel companies for things they've done wrong in the past, even though they've obviously clearly changed now. So it's just kind of weird to me that there's so many contradictions of like this kind of thing of, look, we're being so woke, we're so inclusive, then now here, if you don't agree with us, you're out, don't need to talk to us. So I don't know, that's just my take on that. I feel like, again, it's like thinly veiled bigotry of, hey, yeah, we'll actually hire people on these other immutable traits. So anyways, let's it's a little more lighthearted stuff. Okay, let's move on. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts about that, because I just feel like they're pushing little things a little too far. Next up, quick little thing, Higurashi When They Cry remake. So this, I actually did not follow this. So they had a preview quite a few months back. So the first one, this is the second one. I was able to watch it. A lot of the characters seem to have like slightly different designs. Let's see if I can play it and check out what's his nuts here. There's that like detective. Is audio playing? Oh, audio is playing. Whoops, my bad. Let me just turn that off so that we can actually watch this. This is like the car scene. I remember this. So I actually did not watch this series when it came out back in 2006. I did watch it relatively recently, about a year and a half ago. I want to say a little, maybe more than that. And I enjoyed it for sure. And they've got a really clean aesthetic for this. Slightly changed character designs, and it looks beautiful. So I'm very interested to see how they do with it. I'm very excited. So it's going to be about a month away. Very excited for sure. And then we got another one here from Nichiban as well. Really cool. And funny thing, this is, so new manhole covers in Tokorozawa to celebrate popular anime. So they're LED manhole covers. People have definitely talked about this too. And it's an area that celebrates Japanese pop culture and anime. And these are projected images, actually. So, and you can see the cover already. The funny thing I like about this site, they proudly are displaying the Uzaki-chan cover, because she's controversial right now, and I like that this is kind of a middle finger to people who don't like Uzaki-chan. Anyway, so they're cool. Their solar panels is really cool, and some other Sora News actually reported us earlier, but here's some franchises I liked. I highlighted them. I like Index. I need to rewatch that because I forgot what happened to it. ReZero is good. Watching that right now. Uzaki-chan, Haruhi, Date Alive, Overlord, Sword Art Online. People have mixed feelings, of course, with that, but I kind of like it. Rascal Not Dream, A Bunny Girl-Senpai, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Konosuba, and Overcautious Hero. I'll just call it that way, but that's the name. Light novels and how they like to name stuff. And then one last thing, quick thing today. I forgot to scroll up here. Whoopsies! We have the Expo, the Osaka World Fair Expo. And this is supposed to look like cherry blossoms, but it kind of looks like eyes, does it not? It kind of looks like eyes. And here's an announcement, and then people kind of like what's this? This first tweet roughly translates in Twitter saying, "Why did you choose this? ... And no offense, I kind of like the other ones too, but I like the way that they frame this. This is a nice positive thing. So though it does look grotesque, like people said, it looks kind of like Miti from Made in Abyss, and it does definitely, that gives me some Parasite vibes. It's a good anime, by the way. I need to read the manga, but that's a good anime. I like that. And then some people compared it to like boss monsters in like a sci-fi shooter game. It's cute. And someone drew some fan art. It does look like intestines or some kind of meaty thing, right, with eyes. And I like this test tube idea. This tube as well is vile. And they actually talked to the designer, Tomatsu Shimada. he was very surprised apparently that he was chosen, and they asked him about, hey, like, how did you design this? What inspired this? The it's supposed to express the bright light of life. Empty space in the middle is supposed to match up with the shape of Osaka and the surrounding Kansai region of Japan. And for the eyes, it's supposed to express the DNA of the 1970s Expo, which had 5-petal cherry blossom in the logo. So it's supposed to be inspired by cherry blossom. Let's go scroll up back here. So this is supposed to be cherry blossoms. That's okay. You know what? You do you. If you're happy about that, you're proud of that, I will be proud for you. Some people did some more cute kind of. They're talking about how cute, creepy stuff. So kimo kawaii stuff. It's actually kind of cute. I like this. Less grotesque. A scrunchie, which is a talking scrunchie, and this is cute too. I like that. But yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to do more stuff for you. Of course, if you want to let me know about stuff to cover and my thoughts on it, definitely tweet at me over there. And I changed things up a bit today, and you'll know why, because I have a new end screen with music made by Minimod. I should probably wrap things up again, but Mini Modulation, check out her stuff. I have linked her in the bottom of the description as well, and her name is going to be on the end screen as well. And leave me your thoughts about stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Boop.